So you're thinking about moving to Richardson, Texas. But before moving, you want to know the good and the bad about Richardson. Well, today we're going to talk about the top 5 pros and cons of living in Richardson, Texas. Stick around, watch this video, and you'll know if Richardson's right for you. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living in Dallas, Texas, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about what's going on in Dallas, Texas and surrounding areas like Richardson. Hey, my name's Audrey with the Living in Dallas, Texas team. We get calls and emails every day from people just like you wanting to make a move to Dallas, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we'd love to connect with you and help you make a smooth move to Dallas, Texas. Welcome to Richardson. Richardson, Texas is located in North Dallas, just north of 635 and split to the east and west of Highway 75. Richardson covers 28.5 square miles and is currently home to about 120,000 people. Richardson is home to the University of Texas at Dallas, or UTD, known for its advancements in art and science. Interestingly enough, about half of the population of Richardson is owner-occupied and the other half are rental houses, many to UTD students. Richardson is home to many small and growing families with an average household size of 3, though singles, couples, and retired people live here as well. Now that you know a little bit about the city, let's get into the pros and cons of living in Richardson. All right, let's get into our top 5 pros of living in Richardson, Texas. Number 1, affordability. Richardson's average price point right now is $350,000, which is a great entry-level price point for young families, for a single person entering into the home buying market. So not going to break the bank in Richardson, but definitely have easy access and affordability into getting into the neighborhood. So lots of these houses were built in the 70s, 80s, 90s, but there are also a lot of houses that were just built in the last few years. So lots of moderately new construction, all priced really affordably. So whatever you're looking for, whether it's something that needs a little TLC, that you kind of like to work on projects, or if you're looking for just a great new home, Richardson might have what you're looking for. All right. Second pro of living in Richardson is the Richardson Trail System and the parks. So Richardson has tons of walking trails, running trails, biking trails that all connect to UTD. So as you are, living this active lifestyle, coming to Texas, walking your dog, going on a bike ride, there are tons of trails and parks for you to enjoy. Lots of green space, lots of activity. You'll see people out walking around. You can meet your neighbors pretty easily that way. So really fun, great trail system that the city of Richardson has built out. All right, number 3 on our pros list of living in Richardson is great schools. So Richardson is known for its school system from kindergarten to 12th grade, really great public schools. There are actually some neighborhoods in North Dallas that map to Richardson schools, and people choose to live in those neighborhoods just to get into Richardson schools. Fun fact, Jessica Simpson actually went to J.J. Pierce High School, which is located in Richardson and still thriving. So, if you're a big Jessica Simpson fan, you should feel right at home. Number 4 pro to living in Richardson is Richardson's full of mid-century modern houses, which are all the rage, as we know. And some of these houses have been flipped and are just gorgeous on the inside, with a little modern flair. So if you're looking for something like that, a really cool eclectic house, these neighborhoods have some of those. But there are also some mid-century moderns that are still in the mid-century and ready for some TLC. So if you're into flipping, if you're into, getting into a home and then making it your own, kind of giving it your own flair, if you have an eye for design, mid-century modern in Richardson could be just right for you. All right, and then our fifth pro to living in Richardson, Texas is location. The old famous location. Richardson is in the middle of everything. So you have access to several major highways. So whether you're working in downtown Dallas, or if you are, you have a job where you're more, commuting, visiting clients in other cities, if you're shopping in the suburbs, even if you need to, make a trek to Fort Worth, like you are next to a major highway that will absolutely get you where you need to go. You're kind of in the middle of all of the action. So those are our top 5 pros to living in Richardson. Let's get into our top 5 cons of living in Richardson, Texas. First con, location. I know I just said it's a pro, but it is also a con. Being in the middle of all the highway system and all the action is great for, hopping on the highway quickly. But unless you're into Formula One racing, it is kind of a shock to the system. It's like, all right, hop on 75 and let's go. So with the influx of people moving to the Dallas area, the highways are a little bit more congested than they used to be. So living in Richardson puts you in the middle of the highway system, which, like in any major city, is just highly active. So just for you to be aware of, that's what's happening in Richardson today. My second con of living in Richardson, Texas, is the small yards. I feel like, most of the houses, again, a lot of mid-century modern, built in, 70s, 80s, 90s, were mapped to having, smaller backyards. Most are fenced and structured and organized, but on, a quarter acre size lot or less. So you're looking at, a decent sized yard where, you can certainly have a dog roaming, or, have a patio, or, something where you can enjoy the backyard, but not a lot of, really large backyards for pools and tons of gathering, things like that. So to me, that's a con if you are looking for, just kind of that Texas size lifestyle. That is not currently in Richardson. My third con to living in Richardson, Texas, similar to the small yards, are Richardson has a lot of alleys. So there are a lot of alleyways, and this leads to a lot of street parking. So the way the houses are organized, some people utilize their garages and their alleyways, but a lot of the way that the neighborhoods are just structured leads to street parking. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Navigating through when you're just, trying to drive to your friend's house or trying to get home, and, they're just cars on the street, like next to the sidewalks. So I see that as a con versus some other, neighborhoods in the Dallas area that are focused more on, parking in larger driveways, bigger driveways, keeping cars out of the street. And then number 4 con to living in Richardson, Texas, are the congested streets. So similar to what I was just saying about the alleyways and about people parking on the streets, you also have congestion. Because Richardson connects a lot of major suburbs. It's connecting Plano to North Dallas. You've got Garland on the east. You've got some of North Dallas kind of a little bit below you and into the west, and Addison nearby. Just this connection hub. So you've got a lot of traffic, people moving kind of to and fro in the city, and oftentimes will utilize Richardson as a connection point. So, as long as you're okay with a little bit of traffic here and there, you may be okay with living in Richardson. Just to me, there's a little bit of congestion right now that you should know about. All right, and then my fifth con to living in Richardson, Texas is having the university there. A lot of people see, having a university as an asset, which, certainly a great school, but universities lend themselves to more turnover. So you've got some rental houses and you've got, students in and out, and then, traffic, seasonal traffic, additional traffic with, spring semester, fall semester, people moving, just lots of activity. A lot of students not living there and growing roots for a long time, but rather just going to school and then moving on with their lives. So to me, it can be a little bit transient in some pockets of Richardson near the university. All right, so I hope you enjoyed learning about the top 5 pros and cons of living in Richardson, Texas. Until next time, we hope to show you around town.